welcome to yoga. My name is Lisa Cohen, and today I'd like to invite you to share with me this practice called the Dasha Chalana. It's a warm-up sequence. Dasha Chalana means 10 churnings. And what we're doing is we're going to be moving all the joints of the body. When you move the joints of the body, you're actually releasing synovial fluid into the joints, which is going to help whatever activity you're doing be a little smoother, be a little more comfortable, help to cushion the joints. And it's just a really great way to honor the body before movement. Great to do it first thing in the morning or before any kind of athletic or movement at all. So we're going to start by just settling ourselves into the soles of the feet. And my feet are about hip distance apart, which means that the center of the foot is in alignment right underneath the knees, and the hip bones is what we're actually aligning for. So we can actually relax into the bones here. So take a moment to settle the feet in, rock gently forward and back. And we're creating a relationship with the soles of the feet and the earth. Spine is long, shoulders rolling back and down. Just take a moment to check in and see how you're feeling this morning. And then with the eyes open, we're going to shift the weight over the sole of the left foot, softening into the left knee so that we can balance on that left foot. Send the right foot back, and we're going to start to churn the ankle. So this motion is predominantly focused on dorsiflexion and plantar flexion of the foot. So as the heel comes back, we're pressing onto the ball of the foot. As the knee comes forward, you're going to shift it onto the top of the toes, and we're circling around with the knee, with the hip, with the ankle. And that supporting left leg is just relaxing down here. Circling a little bit in one direction and then reversing and circling in the opposite way. So just it's a lubrication. It's not a stretch. We're just getting things moving. And then we'll bring both feet back under the body and take a brief moment to close the eyes and notice this difference in sensation between the supporting leg and the leg that was stirred up. And then start to shift the weight over to the other side, sending this time the left foot back and churning the joint. As we do this, try to keep those hips nice and level so the spine has a nice horizontal foundation in order to support it in that upright position. Circling in one way and circling in the opposite direction. Second foot comes back under the body. Once again, just notice the difference between both feet. We'll roll the shoulders back for a nice long spine and just start to make small circles with the head. So we're lubricating the place between the lower parts of the skull and where they plug into the top of the spine or the top of the neck. And again, just circling around, gradually letting those circles grow larger. Then start to bring the circles back into center, so smaller and smaller until we reach that place of stillness. Wait for any sensation to subside and then start to circle in the opposite direction. Now, if you're feeling dizzy from this, keeping the eyes gently cracked open will help alleviate any dizziness. And then bringing those circles once again back into center, coming to a place of stillness. And on an inhale, we'll roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. So we're working not only on the shoulders here, but as the elbows come forward, you want to fan the shoulder blades behind you. And as the elbows travel back, you want to squeeze the shoulder blades behind you. So we're working on the shoulders and also the front and back of the heart center. And then reversing in the opposite way. Just a great place to notice any difference between the qualities of the movement between the right and left side of the body. And then we'll roll the shoulders back. Let the forearms come together, elbows, forearms, wrists come together. Gently interlace the fingers, and we'll start to loosen up those wrists. So the wrists are just doing a little circling or figure eighting around each other. And maybe reversing in the opposite way. And then for the direction of the shoulders, we'll bring the palms together. We'll inhale like the pages of a book, exhale into a wide V, inhale pinkies together, exhale extend out in front, and inhale the hands will travel up and over. Keep the spine long, keep the knees relaxed and soft as you keep the base of the spine supported here. So using your breath as a guide on this one, linking movement to breath, each movement either an inhale or an exhale. Now when the hands come back down towards the sides of the body, we'll start to walk the feet together. Big toes are side by side, knees are touching on the inner leg lines, roll the shoulders back, lengthen through the back of the neck, and then just lower the tailbone towards the heels. And where the hands land is going to be dependent upon your own unique configuration. So let the knees start to circle around the tops of the feet. So this is for the knees, but it's also for where the shin bones land right at the top of the feet and the top of the ankle. We're lubricating that area. Gentle circling. And reversing in the opposite way. Keep the shoulder blades down the back of the body. Keep the neck long. Relax across the front of the collarbones. And then we'll come up to a wider stance, shoulder width apart. Keeping the head stationary for this one, we're going to start to circle the hips around as though we're standing in the inside of a barrel. And you're trying to press your way all around those inner edges. This actually also works where the top of the cervical spine or the neck plugs right into the base of the skull. So keeping the skull stationary helps us navigate that spine beneath the head. And circle in the opposite way. Feeling your way around. So the more slowly you do these movements, the more you're going to feel the little nuances of some of the smaller muscle groups or how the nerves are passing the signals off one to the next. And then as we continue the circling, start to relax into the spine, and the whole upper half of the body can move in response to what's happening in the hips here. Circling around, letting the arms relax, head relax. Find a place to pause, and then those relaxed circles in the opposite direction. Hands relaxing down into gravity. Don't forget to breathe. Then we're going to come up to stand. We're going to bring the feet this time a little bit closer and not quite hip distance apart. And lower the center of gravity down for stability. The knees, the toes, and the hips are going to stay facing forward as we spiral through the mid to upper body. Head can rotate behind you. Now, my arms are simply floating through space through the centrifugal force of the torso moving. So the only way my arms are stopping is by gently tapping up against the body. My head is rotating around. Now, instead of coming to an abrupt ending on this, it's always a nice experiment to just undo. So stop the doing and watch how the body comes to its own end. Wait for any sensation to subside, and then we'll step out to a wider stance to explore empty coat sleeves. So a wider, broader version of that last spiral. You can bend into the knees, lift the heels, rotate from one side to the other, and once again the arms are just gently tapping up against the body. And once again, just stop the doing, let the body come to its own end, wait for any sensation to subside, and let the feet come back in hip distance apart. We'll roll the shoulders back, lower the tailbone towards the heels, and coming into cat dog or cat cow. So for this one, we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades back and down, lift the tailbone as we press the center of the heart towards the front of the space, and on the exhale, round the spine, shoulder blades open wide, chin drops to chest, in and out. Inhaling as the chest expands forward, exhaling as the spine rounds. And from this we'll move into Sarpa or serpent. So with the chin rounded towards the chest, we're going to gently press into the soles of the feet, lift ourselves back up into a gentle arch, and then hinge forward. Body rounds as you draw yourself back up. Working on stacking all the bones of the back, one on top of the next. Fluidity from the soles of the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. Now the next time you hinge forward, separate the legs a little bit wider, bend a little more deeply into the knees, and just let the upper body drape towards the floor. Arms relaxing like spaghetti. Shifting the weight from side to side. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then we'll slowly make our way down to a comfortable seat. Coming down to sit, letting the legs come into whatever comfortable position works for you today. So the Dasha Chalana is a great sequence for the warm-up to your yoga practice, and again, for any athletic movement or any movement just to wake yourself up in the morning. This is a great time to then expand upon it and enter into some meditation or perhaps a full yoga practice. So I hope you've enjoyed this sequence today, and look for more sequences from us on this channel. Jai Bhagwan. Namaste.
What can I